We rolling?
Yes.
Hello.
Hello, Iris.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Sorry. How are you?
I'm good. I'm sweaty today.
It is a lovely warm day here in London, in my back garden. And I am interviewing the artist Mishko.
Yep, that's me.
That's him. So, I mean, this is just, we want to know a bit about your creative process, about what inspires you, your music, all of that. So let's get started. First question is, what are your main inspirations? What kind of made you want to get into music?
I mean, Sorry.
Our cameraman is watching TikToks.
I started when I was younger, listening to music on my iPod Shuffle, on the little blue one.
That's classic. That's absolutely classic. Starting to listen to music that your parent put on the shuffle.
Yeah, that, lots of Black Eyed Peas, lots of Eminem, lots of, I think maybe Amy Winehouse. I remember there was this one Radiohead song that I only realized maybe like a couple years ago that was a Radiohead song, but it was like a cover and it was in brass. So it's like a brass orchestration of Just.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But yeah, mainly kind of got into it in lockdown. I kind of just started in the 60s and then just went up. So
What, you went chronologically?
Low-key, yeah. So I'm kind of in my almost hitting my 2000s phase.
Few years behind, but that's not what we can say about your music. I'd say your music is, very, very up and coming, very modern. A lot of the techniques you use, a lot of it is stuff that I don't feel like I've really heard before.
Thank you.
So, what kind of got you into that?
Out of all my ambitions, one of my ambitions is just to kind of make future music and what music of the future sounds like, or is kind of like what I'm trying to push towards, and kind of experiment with everything that is very techno and modern, and how I can push experimenting that basically.
So there's so much out there, so much music technology out there nowadays. It's easier than ever to make music, and so you've got so much music being made. So what do you do to try and kind of stand out from that?
I mean, it's never a question of standing out, because I'm personally trying to be quite ignorant towards what that is, because I think for me, if I'm quite ignorant about stuff, it makes me experiment within my box. With music that I like ages back, 70s, 80s, recreating stuff like that would be really easy. But because they were in a box, that was them pushing boundaries basically. Yeah. David Bowie's Low. Now, all of those drum effects and weird ass stuff that they were doing is really easy to do now. But they were pushing it. So I think it's just trying to make me excited about what I'm doing and feel as if I'm doing something that's different, even though it might have been done a million times. I just have to stay ignorant.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I feel like a lot of great art comes out of having limitations. If you got everything at your fingertips all the time, it can be a bit much. You get lost in it. So I think that's a really interesting take. Yeah.
Thank you.
So who inspires you, artist wise? What kind of music makes you tick?
I mean, I'm into a lot of different music. Kind of artists that I'm inspired by, kind of I like them for different reasons. I think my main inspirations would be maybe Radiohead, Bjork, PJ Harvey, Japan, but then I love Fela Kuti, James Brown, Marvin Gaye, Flying Lotus, all kind of, there's performers that I really respect, like Iggy Pop and Fela Kuti, and then there's people who, arrangers and composers and songwriters, Bjork and Radiohead. And I try to keep a lot, the largest amount of kind of influence to just fuel me and have those inspirations going.
I feel drawing inspirations across a broad variety of genres really helps make your music sound quite unusual. I'd say it's, it's very unusual. It's very experimental.
Thank you.
So yeah, I mean, I can kind of, you're talking about how you like Fela Kuti and Radiohead, and Bjork and all of that, and I can hear that in your music a bit, but it's not a straight copy. It's very much inspired by.
Yeah, I mean, it took me a long time to get to that point, so.
Yeah, developing your own style in any kind of art form it's tough. Cool. Well, do you want to tell us a bit about your kind of creative process then? Like, how do you start a song?
I mean, I'm always working on new songs. I try to write a song every day, write 2 songs every day, and then just kind of,
Wow, so quite prolific then.
I mean, they can take me 2 minutes, they can take me 30 minutes, they can take me like a couple years to finish. So it's very much like, I just like being in the flow of constantly creating stuff. And I recently got to the point of kind of, Jesus Christ, that sun is bright.
Yeah, the sun is very bright here.
Of like really not caring about releasing stuff, because personally, as an artist, I just think that, the construct of releasing and having the released song being finished is just kind of, right? Like releasing a song, having it finished, that's a label that you put on the art to signify that it's finished. And there's still good music in demos, I think.
I guess it's just kind of, it's the production side of it, isn't it? It's the high production quality. You see that nowadays with all sorts of forms of art, like Hollywood movies are just insanely produced and polished and all of that. And it's the same with music, and you can really hear it. But I think there is something to be said for, having that kind of raw demo kind of song and listening to it. There's a lot of emotion there. What comes to mind is PJ Harvey's demos, which I'm sure you've heard as a fan of PJ Harvey. And there's just something so raw about that, which I think is really beautiful.
Yeah, and I think we've just lost, maybe, especially in like releasing music, we've lost a lot of the quality of what the build-up of a song. And I think that, especially with like live performance, a live song can be like it can have so many different versions of it. Settling for like a studio-ready song is kind of a whole different ballpark.
Yeah.
And I think a good example of that is Radiohead, because obviously their live performance is almost like an extension of their studio recordings in some of their albums. Some of them is the other way around, but.
Right. So, I mean, how do you get to a point where you can kind of like choose the final version of the song? That seems like such a crazy journey. I mean, it must take a while, surely.
Yeah, it's blood, sweat, and tears. Weeks of feeling shit.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you very much, guys.
Good to have you here.
Yeah, thank you very much, Iris, for your time to interview me, and thank you for letting me in your garden.
Of course.
I hope to see you again. Okay. No callback.